What is good, Pillagers and Crusaders, and welcome back to another episode here at Team COG. Bringing you Utopia on the bottom and Orcust on the top. My man Flexi pulling through for me. For those who don't know, I work night shift. I'm in the medical field. I'm a traveling nurse. So I've been working the nights, and it's like 2 a.m. for me, but it's only 9 p.m. for Flexi over in Germany. So this is like kind of works out, right? And again, guys, before I continue on, if you guys don't like this quality of the sound sounds different, I got snowed in at work, so I've been practically voicing over this at work on my iPad's external mic. So let me know down below. Maybe this is something I can continue doing, but my man Flexi is going to start off using the Orchestrated Return, sending the World Legacy World 1 to the graveyard to draw 2 cards and a Foolish Burial. That is pretty insane. So today I'm playing Utopia. I got a few games in prior to this, guys, and the deck is straight fire. Like very close, like Plant Link. The deck, these two decks. I'm like at a war with in my head because both decks are so cool. However, though, I can tell you that Utopia, there's one flaw that Utopia has that is pretty much kind of like, I wouldn't say been the deciding factor, but makes me lean towards playing Plant Link a little bit more. And that is the fact that D-Barrier is in the meta. D-Barrier flipped on Utopia, calling XYZ, your entire game plan is just gone. Like a lot of the other decks out there can play through it. Utopia, not so much. But we're going to see the normal summon of Brass Bombard, and we're going to banish the World Legacy World 1 to summon out the Orchestrated Nightmare, which of course Nightmare was banished to dump the Symbol Skeleton, making Galatea up there. And we're going to see Galatea use its effect. And here I'm contemplating in my head, like, depending on what he has, the Orcust can put up kind of a scary board. You know, they put up Girsu, like IP Masquerena, Vert Anaconda, along with the set Crescendo, but he looks like he's going to go ahead and set the field spell, which I'll have him move a little bit later on. And we're going to see a normal summon, or a reveal of Nessie, excuse me. And am I going to snipe it? Let's find out here. Let's see if I am the American sniper and I roll a 5 and I end up sniping the Nessie. Dang, that was pretty good of me. Darn, I'm pretty happy with myself there. But moving, as he's going to probably, I think Nessie, yeah, Nessie's the road. It's going to let him add, I believe, he goes for a Jackalope or Tsuchinoko. There we go, Jackalope. See, it's almost like I've played Dangers before. Man, I love Dangers, man. Like, I truly do. Like, I like the Dangers. I'm all into that cryptozoology, but we're going to see if we can snipe it again, and by George, we snipe the Jackalope. What a, like, call me American Sniper Charles Gerald, right? So we're going to summon out the Tsuchinoko, and then he has Such plus Galatea, and my hand actually opens 0 Disruption, which is not the best. Sadly, it's just not the best. He's showing the Babel over there on the side, and just so I saw that I thought he grabbed Crescendo because, like, well, I know he grabbed Babel, but we were talking and stuff, so I thought he grabbed Crescendo, and I was like, do I know that you have Crescendo? And Flexi's like, no, man, I got Babel, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, Babel. So that, to me, as long as, so like, in my mind, I'm like, he grabbed Babel, so he might have already hard opened Crescendo, and we're going to see if that will be enough. Just sitting here and waiting patiently for, playing with my dice, waiting to see what Flexi's next move is. His hand, it's like a mediocre hand, I would say. The board he puts up's kind of like not the best that Orcust can do, but it's definitely not just ding and pass. But we're going to see the Banish of Skeleton to summon out the Brass Bombard, which is going to be linked with the Tsuchinoko to end up making, I believe, an IP Masquerena. And there it is, the IP Masquerena. I apologize for the cut. He misplaced his Masquerena, so he found it. And there we go. I think we're going to have an ending field of just... Nope, never mind. He overlays Ding on top of Galatea, which of course is smart, attaching, I believe, the Nightmare to it. So we're looking at IP Masquerena with the Ding. So to me, what that tells me is that he is going to IP on his turn to make Unicorn to shuffle something back, and then he'll use the quick effect of Babel to be able to banish the Skeleton to bring out Ding. So he's going to have a non-targeting send plus a shuffle. So we go into my turn, I draw for turn, and I'm calculating what I need to do. I activate Onomoto Pickup to attempt to bait a hand trap in the hand. What this card lets me do is add any Onomot card from my deck to my hand, and I add Onomoto Para, which is like kind of the Signet Mining, pitch a card, then add up to 2 of the one of each of the names. But I also open XYZ Change Tactics, which is like Pot of Greed for this deck. You can drop to 8 cards, but we're going to summon out Ascended Sage, which this card is like $10 now. And we opened the 2 brothers, Ascended and Armed. I love the artwork of these guys, man. Like, they are hands down my favorite artwork. And I'm going to go ahead and make double here. And I do double because I know that I am going to see a Unicorn play coming. So I end up using the effect that's given by Ascended to add a rank up And then on top of that, I'm going to get the Change Tactics draw. So Flexi here is contemplating what his next move is going to be. And he decides to Quick Chain Masquerena to the effect of the XYZ Change Tactics, which I think I did 2 Change Tactics, 1 the add. And we go, so we're resolving the chain links. I get to, no, excuse me, it was 2-1, add the rank up, then draw off Change Tactics. So I add rank up Magic Zexal Force. And then I'm going to cut and then just draw off the Change Tactics. Then on a separate chain, he is going to use Unicorn. He should have already pitched for cost, but you know, it's what it is. So he pitches the Cloak. And I asked what he's going to target. I'm hoping he goes for double or nothing so I can chain the double or nothing, but he decides to go ahead and get rid of Change Tactics, which hindsight is not too bad of an idea. I was going to be able to draw so many cards that it's a good call. But I was really hoping he'd go for Utopic double so I could chain the double. But I'm going to special summon the Astraltopia from my hand because I control an XYZ monster, using Astraltopia to send the Onomata pickup for free to add a Zexal, I think it's Zexal number Onomat, just a like the entire, this card just like kind of molds the entire archetype together so well. It just, all the things that are missing, Astraltopia can search. And I believe I'm contemplating, do I go for Zexal Field? Do I go for Zexal number or Numbers Protect Us? I'm kind of like, I don't know truly what the correct route is to go. Like, I know if I go Zexal Field, I can make the Archfiend, which will practically shut off, like VFT his entire turn. But I also know that in my extra deck, I am playing Dweller, which will also do the exact same thing to them that I'm wanting to do. So I grab the Numbers Protect instead of the Zexal Field, because that's, as I was thinking, I was like, well, Archfiend will shut off all the activated monster effects on his side of the field, but Dweller does that, and I can get the counter trap to protect that. But so I ended up using the Utopia double, detaching to add a double or nothing, and then I just smack on top of there. That's it, number 99, Utopia Dragonar. This card is just, oh god, if you guys have not read this card is crazy, man. It's just cracked. The ability to special summon any number between 1 and 100, or with 1 through 100 in its name from the extra deck, quick effect, and then it just has the ability to like control the battle phase by making a monster that your opponent attacks with become 0. Man. But anyway, Astraltopia is hanging out there. Right now, I believe he is going to activate the Symbol Skeleton Engrave, which is kind of decent in my opinion, because I have a really good play. This is just how powerful this card is. You guys are going to see. You guys just going to have to wait and see, man. It's just insane. So he's going to go ahead and show me the Symbol Skeleton, banishing the Symbol Skeleton to summon out the, I believe, Ding Girsu. I think that's what he goes for. And that's a smart play, but it's a lose-lose situation for him, because you'll see what happens. So he summons out Ding, he declares Ding, and since I had to confirm, you don't have to declare which affected Ding that you are using, and regardless, on the activation of Ding, I chain the Dragonar to summon out Hope Harbinger. So now he has a choice. He can either send Hope Harbinger or send the Dragonar. Both are 3,000, and to be honest with you, I would probably send Dragonar, or not send Dragonar, I'd send the Hope Harbinger because it's a spell negate. But I believe he opts to send the Dragonar because of its size and because its ability to control the battle phase. But I put him in a rock and a hard spot here, because Ding, whatever he sends, it doesn't matter, because there's still going to be a 3,000 beater out on the table. But he chooses to send Dragonar, which I called correctly. I activate Onomatopoeia, pitching the double or nothing. So once I kind of was thinking maybe I should have just went for the whole Utopia one punch with double or nothing, but you know, the man's name is Flexi, so we gotta flex on him. So I'm gonna pitch double or nothing, add, I believe it was the Utopic Onomatopoeia. I activate its effect to allow me to special summon as many names from my hand as possible. And that card is, so I summon out the Coat and the Dwarf, which is, this is crazy. The engine is so crazy, guys. Like, if you pitch Dwarf with Onomatopoeia, it's just jacked. Like, your entire hand is, it's like a 3XYZ engine. But I end up making my new favorite card, one of my maybe favorite cards from Brothers of Legend, not my new one, but there's so many cards from Brothers of Legend that I like. Zexal Sage, Utopic Sage, to be able to summon out the Armed Sage from the deck to just kind of deck them a little bit. I'm not playing the F-Zero engine, and I'll explain a little bit why I don't do that real quick. I don't play that engine because I feel as though it already does what the deck already does. Like, the Dragonic F-Zero is a monster effect negation. The deck already puts a plethora of monster effect negations. We need something to negate more spell and traps, because that's what the deck is lacking. So I chose not to play it. And in the theory with the number C65, you're shutting off monster effects anyway, so just playing it over getting one negate versus shutting all monster effects, I just valued over playing the F-Zero. But I'm going to summon out Leo Arms, or Utopic, the ultimate Utopia Leo Arms, and equip the Pegasus Saber. So now I have a quick effect in perm and a on resolution negate via the Pegasus. I can even extend farther, guys. Like I could detach the Dweller to send the glove, or yeah, the dwarf to the graveyard, bring back the dwarf because I control the Utopic on Utopia, and make an Albertian to search out anything, any level 4, or practically anything I want to. But I decided to just go ahead and make Dweller and make the Tornado Dragon. I go ahead and use Tornado Dragon to pop the Babel to force whatever's remaining in his graveyard, and he banishes the Nightmare to go ahead and Foolish Burial. And I'm kind of contemplating here, I don't know, I can't remember if I fire off Dweller or not, but I think since he does do that, I do chain Dweller, because whatever he sends, I don't want him to have the ability to activate, because I don't know what his hand is or anything like that. So I do chain Dweller to shut off whatever is possible that he could be sending, which I at this point, I'm not too sure what I was truly scared of. But, you know, it is what it is. So he's going to increase the attack, I believe. So yeah, he sends Orochi, which is a good call on my part, because that's going to prevent him from summoning that during my turn. And he's going to boost the, I believe, Nightmare Unicorn. So I just go ahead, the Leo Utopia is 35. I attack over that with or attack over the Unicorn, and then the Giant Hope Harbinger over Ding. But I cannot attack directly because I use Dragonar's effect. So now, during his turn, during standby, I fire off the Dweller. This is the perfect call. He's going to, I believe, attempt to fire off the Orochi. And I don't want Orochi to come on and like threaten anything. He has 2 cards, so I think I decide to numbers protect this because I control a number monster, number 38. And even if I didn't control number 38, the Leo arm, or the ultimate Leo Utopia, is always counted as C39. My man Flexi, though, is contemplating his next decision. He has 2 cards left in hand. I truly don't know what they could be, or what could really get him out of this situation. He's staring down practically 4 interruptions, technically, if you count the Tornado Dweller, and his entire graveyard is just shut off. So I don't know truly what he can get through there. And also, on top of that, like the Light Warrior, I believe, or Light XYZs are protected because of the Utopic Sage. If they would be destroyed by battle or card effect, I can banish it from the graveyard or field. So he's in a difficult spot. It's going to be interesting to see if Flexi can pull through this. And there's a few changes I'd like to make. I've made a lot of changes to the extra deck with this Utopia list, and I'm pretty confident in like what I have now, far as main deck wise go. It's the extra deck that has so much space and so much utility that you can potentially use. So I'm going to probably tinker with that, and then I'll probably bring you guys like an ultimate guide of Utopia. Then I'll probably bring an ultimate guide of Plant Link as well, because both decks require a brain cell to play, and I feel like everybody should know how to play these decks. These are very strong rogue options for this format. If you don't want to play Flunder, or play the Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk, or play Sword Soul, these are definitely 2 decks that you could possibly play. And you're seeing the true power of the Utopia deck right here. If you guys haven't already seen the Plant Link power, go ahead and hop over there. Like the Plant Link deck, if I would have drawn 1 more extender in that game 3 man, I could have played through like 5 interruptions. But we are cursed and we draw the traps of the deck. But again, also in this deck, guys, you are playing 2 traps technically, Shade Brigandine and Numbers Protection, so you're probably always going to draw one or the other. You're just always hoping to draw the Shade and not the Numbers Protection, and so far, that logic has done great. He normal summons Girsu. I assume he's going to attempt to use Girsu's effect. I'm not too worried about it because, like, what could he send? But I decided to negate it in half its attack value so I could just swing in for damage on the next game, and it looks like he has 1 card left in hand, and that's going to wrap it up for game 1, guys. Please remember, guys, if you guys want to help support the channel, please check out the links down in the description below. Please also, if you guys haven't already, ding that notification bell so that you guys don't miss whenever I go live. I try to live stream once or twice a week as scheduled, depending. But more importantly, if you guys want to really directly support the channel, hit that join button, become a member, get access to exclusive perks and rewards, and the live streams. When my live streams are done, they go up right for members to be able to watch in case they missed it due to the time change or just life in general. And then finally, if you guys are shopping on TCG Player, please use the TCG Player affiliate link down below. It will help go right back into the channel. So without further ado, let's just get right back into the video. Okay, guys, welcome back to that all-important Game 2. Not as important as Game 3, but Game 2 is pretty important, especially for you if you're the winning player. He's going to opt to go first. Utopia, almost said Crusadia, man, flashbacks to the Crusadia days. Utopia being able to whack it through, and the man sets 2 and passes to me. Oh boy, So I don't know what his 2 set cards are, to be honest with you, but I set a card, and there it is, Shea Brigandine. My logic I said previously comes into play. If you play good traps, you're always going to see them. So I activate the Armed Sage in hand, and this is kind of what this deck does, right? So this deck can play under Nibiru, but it also has the ability not only to play under Nibiru, but has the ability to kind of play through it in the sense you just hold your normal summon. Your Utopic Onomatopoeia is the strongest normal summon in your deck. So you want to hold that normal summon. So we're going to go ahead and activate the XYZ Change Tactics right there. That card poses a threat all on its own, guys. So we're going to go ahead and make Utopia double, drawing a card off of the Change Tactics. I think I draw like 9, 8, I draw a crazy amount here. But we're going to actually see some interesting play. And I had to make sure I could do this because it felt too easy to do this way. So I detached from the Utopia double to go ahead and add double or nothing. To go ahead and deck then. I don't want to draw that card off of my Change Tactics, which was kind of questionable. I should have probably changed the double on the summon and made like double 2 Change Tactics 1 so I didn't draw it, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know what those 2 set cards are, and I'm suspecting they could be in perm or anything like that. So I end up summoning the... I don't go for Dragonar. I believe I go right just for normal old Utopia. And then, yeah, so I go Utopia. Its attack becomes double, but it cannot attack directly. But I get to draw off that XYZ Change Tactic, so I've drawn 2 cards so far. And that's just, Change Tactics are so crazy. Like, now that this deck is finally together, it's insane to be able to draw so many cards. It doesn't feel right. And I'm reading Utopia. I attempt to attack you with Utopia, but my man Flexy's like, I don't think you can, and my Utopia double is in Spanish, so I'm not fluent in Spanish. I'm fluent in 2 languages, guys. That is English and American Sign Language. So I was like, oh, really? I was like, let me Google real quick and just make sure. I didn't think it had that restriction, and sure enough, it does. And I was like, okay, well then, you know, I'm not going to attack with Utopia. And I was like, instead, we'll just smack on the See Utopia Ray. So I go Utopia Ray, and he is like, that's cool. I get to draw another card off of the Change Tactics, which should not be allowed at all, but you know, it is what it is. I've gone +3 so far by just summoning Utopias, and now I'm able to attack because I'm no longer restricted by that restriction that Utopia Devil puts on the Utopia under it. So I swing, hit him for 25, and then I get to do this and guys, you're going to see this firsthand. This is my first time ever summoning Zeus. I have not had the ability to summon Zeus any time before this. So I summon the Zeus, and he effect failures me, and I chain Zeus. This card should not be legal at all. Really, like, that's insane. Zeus is such a powerhouse. But I just had to make sure. I was almost certain I was not locked into numbers, but I end up activating Onomatopoeia Pickup. Guys, can you guess what that's going to grab me? An Onomatopoeia, because we're about ready to go into it, because we have not committed our normal summon yet. So I go ahead and activate the Topera. I believe pitching the double or nothing, because I'm not going to use it. And I go ahead and grab myself the Dwarf and the Utopic Onomatopoeia. And this card, that's insane. Like, I see why people don't like this engine, because like it's crazy, but like, look at that. I normal summon the Utopic and I get 3 monsters. And like, I'm gonna get so much more because once I overlay the Utopic and the Dwarf, I'm gonna be able to reborn the Utopic. And then Glove will be able to come back out because there's a Dododo or a Gagaga or what is it? It's like a Dododo, or it's one of the baby languages restrictions. It has to be face up on the field, and Utopic counts as all the baby languages. So the Glove is going to, be able to come back for free. So it's like almost 3 XYZs. It's just insane. This engine is just crazy. But I believe I go for the Sage, detach 2 to summon out the Ascended Sage. That's right, because I haven't got access to a rank up spell yet. I opened one, but I haven't got, access to one. And then I go ahead and use the Coat to bring back out the Utopic. I go into normal old Utopia, and I get to search for the Rank Up Magic Hyper Hope Force, or I think it's Rank Up Magic Utopia Force. And then I go and activate the Utopia Force, I believe. Yeah, I use that, target the Utopia, smack on Dragonar, which is fine. It has 3 materials, rather it have 4, but I've already gone that line to be able to successfully Zeus twice. And there, the Dwarf comes back out because I have the Utopic out there, so technically I've made 1, 2, 3 XYZs with this engine. It's insane. So I make Dweller because I know what he has, and I activate Rank Up Magic Zexal Force on the Utopic Sage to make the Leo arms, and then I just detach from the Utopic Leo Ray to equip the Pegasus Sabers. So again, I have 2 monster negates there. I fire off the Dragonar I believe I summon out the Hope Harbinger, and there we go. Hope Harbinger goes down, and then the Hyper Rank Up's able to attach itself to it. I set 2, which I believe I set Numbers Protect and a Forbidden Chalice, because I'm on Chalice in this deck. I think in this deck you should play Chalice and Imperm, or just one. You have to play one or the other, because if you just draw with the change tactics and you draw anything worth it, it's not good. But my man is going to reveal the Nessie. I chain the Dweller, and we're going to see if I can keep sniping, because let's see here. So I roll a 6, and dang boy, I hit the Nessie again. I am just killing it. And he attempts to add the Snake, but I'm like, you're under Dweller, and I don't think it activates like that. But he reveals the Jackalope one more time. Let's see again, guys, if I can do it. A 4 for 4 here. I roll a 5, hitting the end card, hitting the Jackalope again. My man Flexi was kind of crazy, thought it was crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty crazy. But to successfully snipe, and you guys saw, man, it was all random. I rolled a die, and I just sniped those dangers. And he reveals to me Phantasme. He's like, yep, I left that in. I probably shouldn't have, but it's not really good against your deck. But yeah, guys, so that is it for the duel video. Please remember to comment and subscribe down below. Please also, guys, remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and just, happy dueling. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.